Hey, how you guys doing? I'm Alex. Tiger 131 update stats. Is it worth the gold? So I have to revisit this because well, I'll just say I found out that the stats that I gave you yesterday in the video aren't correct. Which I'm gonna go ahead and say wouldn't happen if they actually just gave us the stats on the Wikipedia or Tankopedia. I mean, if that's what it's supposed to be for, so people like me don't make mistakes like that. And to show you guys what I mean, the Tiger 131 has completely different stats from what I was actually told originally, and you can't really get anything off of this. You can see that the armor is really easy to see, but where's the penetration? Let's see. It says it's between these here. So, and it doesn't even tell you for the APCR. It just says for standard pin, you know. So you got to guess between there. Now I'm sure there's some mathematical calculation out there that makes it different, but I'm going to go ahead and say that I had to found out. I found out from from a subscriber that said that the penetration is actually was it 169 standard and 227 with its APCR, which does make a huge difference in this. It also has a longer aim time, and it has some other stuff. Gun handling is a little bad. Some other minor differences. But I'm going to go ahead and say that, if you look at here, I mean, really, where do you get your stats from? So the only real way to get the stats, if you don't have any other avenues, is to basically buy the tank. So the Tankopedia here, it doesn't really tell you anything. But hey, if we go over to the PC, we can find out the stats right now of the heavy tank NO, tier 6. And you can clearly see it here. It says 145, 171, and 44 millimeters. And you can see that that's the armor, piercing, armor piercing, composite rigid, and high explosives. And you can see the damage up here. Really easy, simple, right? You could get everything you need to know. You need to know what kind of pin you're looking at. I mean, is this a tank I want to be? Am I going to be firing a lot of APCRs? At tier 6, this actually isn't that bad. I mean, the VK36 is actually pretty damn good. And I'm going to go ahead and just tell you that the VK36's rounded turret is actually better than the Tiger's just because it's rounded. Now, the hatch is bad and the sides of the cheek are bad, which this is actually better for that. It has, like, I'll say mythical balancing properties on it. But, if you play this up in its top tier, which would be, was it 7, 8? If you play this in 8, you're going to get obliterated, and you couldn't hope to penetrate with 171. Which brings me to the Tiger 31, which is basically a matchmaking preferential tank. Now, if you guys watched the live stream, Pain God was actually talking about how there are some ridiculous rules that are put into the servers. Like, the reason why you can get really terrible matchmaking is because whenever I play a matchmaking preferential tank, they have to make a room for me that's a tier 9, tier 9 maximum game. Which means if I'm playing a regular 8 tank, I'm going to get into more tier 10 lobbies. The more people that are using these tanks, the more tier 10s I'm going to get in. And so they're doing the same at tier 7. This is going to basically flood tier 8, which means you're going to basically be going up against a lot more premium tanks in this, meaning the Tiger Hammer. I jumped into a room yesterday and killed 3 of these tanks with my Tiger Hammer just because I could outpin the shit out of them. And I will say every time I seen them firing, it was nothing but APCR, which I thought was kind of funny considering that it has 169 pin. That's 69 penetration more than what is needed to pin the turret on this thing, or its hatch, or the front of it, or the bottom plate. But I am going to go ahead and say that, I'm not against the tank. I like it. I think it's cool. I think it looks awesome. If I had the silver and I didn't already have a hammer that I got for free, I probably would buy this tank. I really like the way it looks, but I'm going to go ahead and say that when it comes to the snake bite, a buddy of mine said that it would have been nice if they would have actually did this with it, which is to give it the normal Cromwell, gun, and just give it, tier 9 matchmaking, and make it a real light tank. I mean, I'd much rather prefer that than to have 100 pin. So, where I'm really going with this video is I have to do an updated video on it. I mean, I have to, because I said the stats for one thing when they're not. So this video should be more like this. Mistake number Number two, for me, wargaming, caused by basically, let's just say, the stats aren't here. If you can see, it's just just guess. I'm sure if I went on if I went and played, was it if I went onto the forums, if I went onto the forums and was typing and was just getting all kinds of information I can from it and asking dumb questions, I'd probably get an answer from people. Seriously, I'd probably get an answer. So anyway, I probably would already know this because it's probably been posted. They probably already posted. I could also watch another YouTuber, but aren't I just piggybacking? I'm going to go ahead and say that I try not to watch other YouTubers because it influences my videos. It does. It influences my videos. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say that it's been probably about a month and a half since Wargaming has actually liked one of my videos, and the only videos they've ever liked was the ones where I talked about the WCL in a positive light, and the ones where I basically am promoting a premium tank, like like I got 10,000 views for the Tiger Hammer, and for the free Motherland. They really love those because I'm promoting money. But if I'm talking about how I don't really think that this tank's worth the gold, like if I have some money, I could probably buy this, but why am I not buying it? It does have some really enticing features to it, but like I said, when you have low penetration, you're in a tier 8 lobby, try pinning, with skill, try pinning, an IS-3 with 169 pin. I have a T69 that has 170 pin, and I can only shoot it below the track line or on its ass, which means I basically have to run. This tank, although does 36, it's not fast enough, to get away. It's not a medium tank, which means you're going to be forced to go head-to-head with tier 8 vehicles, and you're just going to get stomped. And that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. It's only good and it's in its tier. And when you're firing all these APCRs, you're just basically, if you want, you're going to have to pay to win, and that's kind of sucks. I mean, it defeats the purpose of it. On PC, they basically have demanded that APCR rounds basically go out, and that if you're going to use them, you're going to have to pay a lot for them. The other day, just to test, I fired 8 heat rounds off of my tier 9 tank, and it cost me 19,000 right off of my profits. So I would have made probably 6,000 credits, and I mean that could be some place that we head to. And if you own that tank, it's just going to be looking good in your garage. And when you fire those APCR rounds, you're going to be using all your profit, your 50% or whatever to pin other tanks. And it's a problem that the Super Persian has had for a really long time. They did increase the penetration on it, and it's a much better tank. It's not OP at all. It's having 192 pin. It should have had that from the beginning. Seriously, just because, let's just face it. Even though you have a riot shield, the thing is a slug. It's not really a medium tank. It's a heavy tank, that has a medium gun. It's basically the FMC, with a 90 millimeter. It's just not really cutting it when it comes to its DPM. Anyway, I wanted to correct the video and tell you guys the real penetration of this, which I did correct the video, and I put an annotation on it and stuff to basically say, I messed up on the penetration, because like I said, everything I ran into said that it was basically the heavy tank NO tier 6, or is it 6? It's basically the Tiger 6 here, Japanese tank. That's what and if you look at the penetration. But yeah, like I said, why is it so hard to find the information? I literally have been making videos that I've had to either delete or recant because I can't really find the information unless I want to buy the tank. I am not rich. I'm not. I'm disabled. I have a fixed income. World of Tanks is my hobby. I'm going to go ahead and say I don't have money I could just burn up. So I have to really think about, do I really want this tank? I'm going to go ahead and say that I don't want another Super Persian. I don't. And I'm pretty damn sure that if I change my mind, it's going to come out again in the next year. That they're going to try and cram it down our throats again in some kind of mega bundle, which I think is kind of nasty that they're doing that. They're already back to basically like you got to wait half a month if you want to get the tank for its original cost of 7,700, and that's kind of dirty if you ask me. They're already back to it. You can get a special perk with it if you get it in the ultimate bundle right now. And, you know, they really are doing everything they can to make money. And I know they're a company. I do. I know it's a company. I know all that. But I gotta say, you know, when it comes at the price of lack of information, you get people like me making videos with limited information because you can't find it, you know. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't run in circles where people have this tank. Most of the people I know are not gonna buy a premium tank. You know, we'll earn it, but we're not gonna buy it. Like I'm not really working for the M10. I don't really need another tier. You know, I don't really need the M10. I don't. I don't need the M10 Panther. I don't need it. So I'm not going for it. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And, you know, if you guys did, please thumbs up the video. And if you really liked it, please subscribe. It helps support my channel so I can keep making videos like this. And also live streams. If you guys haven't been catching my live streams, we've been having some really good times recently. You do have to kind of skip to the middle of the live streams. I mean, they are really long, but I probably am going to go back through them and take the best, you know, like, I guess take like funny moments and just kind of put them into one video. But problem with that is I haven't been saving those videos, so we'll have to kind of start all over on that. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a good one. Later.